So how do you think your first game went, and then also how? I mean, you have UCLA coming up next. So do you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish?
The first game was very rusty, but we haven't played in 266 days, so I have to keep that in the back of my mind. I'm just blessed for the fact that we're able to play. I look all around the country, and I honestly today was nervous up until we actually went in to warm up, just because it's so many things are changing. It's challenging, it's different. So I'm proud we got to play, and I'm glad and I'm thankful. But it's hard to coach. Not like I think just coming into a game like this, and I've been talking to friends that kind of feel the same way. You don't feel prepared because you don't really know what to prepare for. So I think for us, all the players and myself, getting used to a more distance bench, harder to talk to your players, getting used to just the environment. It kind of looks more like a practice. So we were very flat, but I'm proud that we got like the jitters out. We got our first game out. We were undefeated till today. Now we're still undefeated, which is good. I just think it's we put two more starters in the lineup, so a lot of differences. I think you'll see us improve in the next few days.
What do you think about the way Cate played?
I thought she played really good. I think I'm not surprised at all. Cate has improved so much. I mean, she played today like she does every day in practice. She goes hard. I mean, I think she's been the one dominating our gold jersey. She just played great. She rebounded well. She was leading our fast breaks. I mean, she's just gotten so much better. I'm proud of her.
And then rebounding and 3-point shooting, are those kind of your concerns from today?
Yeah, my concerns today, I felt like we were very inconsistent just with our defense, just doing stuff we don't normally do. I thought we weren't communicating really that well, just doing things that are uncharacteristic. And I think some of that is, Shayna hasn't played basketball in a long time, like a year and a half. Bendu, has been hurt. So a lot of people just they've been rusty because they haven't played. But I thought we saw some really good bright spots. The concerns are, our rebounding is a concern because I thought we had lack of focus on boxing out. I thought transition defense, we could do a better job. But these are things that we definitely can get better at, and we will. We didn't shoot the ball well. I think we looked a little bit gassed, but we hadn't played a game, and practice doesn't really simulate a game. So those are things we will get better at.
PJ Brown, you're up next.
So as you said, Coach, that we saw a lot of real bright spots today. Obviously, Cate picking up her 16th double-double, and she just was so aggressive and just dominated. But also there were moments for other players too. I mean, we saw a little bit of what Trinity can do, and she and then even on defense, your defense in the third quarter really picked up, and you really showed the real Arizona defense that you're known for. What was it in that third quarter that all of a sudden sort of started clicking for everyone to sort of get back to that?
So I challenged them at halftime. We talked about the things we weren't doing well, and I think that they just came out with more of a sense of urgency. I think the first 10 minutes we were just rusty, nervous. It's been a long time. And so I think just getting those jitters out. I think second half we were a little bit more relaxed. And, also some of it was me. I'm playing a lot of different combinations. We have a lot of people, and we have a lot more depth. So I played a lot of different combinations. In most games, I'm not going to play 12 people. It's very hard to get consistency and some sort of rhythm going so deep into the bench. So some of that you'll see a difference because we'll be more constant. But I saw some really great things from Lauren. I thought she played a good game, and she's only a freshman. I thought Bendu did some good things. I thought Shayna had some bright spots, and Trinity on the rebounding. We're going to be a better rebounding team with her. So a lot of good things I can take away from this, but we definitely have to get better because we're getting ready to play a gauntlet in the Pac-12.
David Bryant, you're up next.
Hey, Coach, Aari obviously got off to a little bit of a slow start shooting, but it seemed like she was really affecting the game in other ways, those mid-court steals, the assists, the rebounds. Oh, just kind of what do you think of her game and how she finally got going there shooting at the end?
I thought, Aari's always Aari. Her defensive effort and her heart is never a question. She plays with passion every single night. It wasn't her night shooting or her day shooting. I thought some of it was she kind of wasn't staying in her shot, just floating a little bit off balance. But those are shots she normally makes, and those shots look good and felt good to her. So those will come. They haven't played in a long time. I thought her defensive effort was great. I mean, she had 8 assists and she had 7 rebounds. So she did other things, and that's what I love about Aari. When her game, let's say her buckets aren't falling and she's not, just feeling it on offense, she's going to play defense. She's going to do other things to help us win. And that's what she did today.
Troy Hutchison, you're next.
So following up on that, Coach, Aari
Troy
went for
Hutchison.
8. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
you're good.
Okay. So following up on that, Coach, Aari started off 1 for 8, and in years past, if that would have happened, you guys would have struggled throughout the game. What can you talk about the depth that you guys have this year and having another option besides Aari?
Yeah, I think that we're just, our team isn't just Aari. Aari's one of the best players in the country, if not the best player in the country. But we have more of a balance, which is good. It showed a little bit today because before we struggled to get multiple players in double digits in scoring. And I think we now can do that consistently. But that's the good thing about as you get better as a team. If Aari is having a night where she's 1 for 8, which everybody's going to have nights like that, she has to do other things, and then other people have to score. So today that was Cate stepping up. Trinity got some boards. That was Lauren off the bench. So we just have more depth and we have more options. And I think it's also, you're going to see later, I think in the next few weeks, you'll see Aari doesn't always have to have the ball at the last second. We sometimes can get Aari easy shots, while Shayna creating, making the defense collapse, and we get Aari some shots. Before that was always Aari because she was the only one that could create off the dribble. So I think now we have multiple players. We have Bendu that can do it. We have, Mara, Tara, they're more experienced to do it. And then now Shayna. And Shayna's very hard to guard off the dribble. So I think she just makes us better and just improves our backcourt. But Aari's going to play like Aari. It's funny because we talk about Aari and it's not her best game and she still has, I don't know how to read the stat sheet. Everything's different. But she still, has 18 points and it's not her game and 8 assists, 7 rebounds. I mean, that's just how good she is. But I thought we saw some really good things with Trinity. She's strong inside. We didn't have like a really strong presence inside. We see a new and improved Cate. We see coming off the bench, Lauren's doing well. I think that we'll see other people kind of come into their own when they have when we have a consistent rotation. So I think that helps players settle. But today we just didn't have that because we're trying a lot of different things in a game situation.
David Kelly, you're next.
Coach, just Cate talked about, how she had to improve her ability to go to her left when she got here. What were some of the instrumental things in allowing her to get better at that?
So every single day working on her left hand. I mean, every day. And she has improved because last year it was like when she used her left, she'd point down the court like, hey, shaking her left. Now it's normal. She just uses it more naturally. But she's just improved. She's stronger. She handles the ball better. She improved on her shot. I think she's improved in every way. Her defense has improved tremendously. Before she had a tough time guarding the 4. Now she's doing a much better job guarding the 4. So I think every aspect of her game has improved. And I'm just happy to see it. Because I, as a coach, for me, when we're trying to develop someone, I like to see that every year they're getting better. And they're improving on something because then we're doing our jobs as coaches. If they're not getting better, then we're doing something wrong. So I'm just proud of her. She's put the work in. She really wants to be great. And she's putting in the work to be great.
I'm just curious. JJ Nakai played up the road at Pima. What were your impressions of her tonight, and how much interaction had you had with her? I don't know if you had seen her play much when she was down here in Tucson at all.
Yeah, at number 3, I did. So I went to a game a couple of years ago, and I watched her. I think she had like 30-something points that game. She's a really good player. I think she's got floaters. She can score. I really like her game. And she was hard for us to guard a lot of times. So, she played well. She came in here and had 17. So, good player. I think NAU is a really good team. I think they're coached well. They do a really good job over there. And some of their actions kind of bothered us. And it's different because I think when we're playing schools outside the Pac-12, it's like playing 5 guards. And so then it puts our post players like Samaj, Lauren, Trinity, Cate, it puts them in a situation where they got to guard a guard, and it's challenging. I think you'll see us settle a little bit more in the Pac-12 because we'll play more traditional positions, and I think it'll be a little bit easier. But then the level is going up really fast. So the challenge for us is going to be, we don't have multiple games where we get these kinks out. Before, we usually have 2 or 3, we have a scrimmage or 2 or 3 exhibitions, and then we go into the Pac-12. Right now, we have a game, we go into the Pac-12. So that's a disadvantage, big time.
And would you categorize Lauren, I guess, as being 100% coming off the knee injury, coming in as a freshman? I mean, where is she in terms of her ability to move nimbly on the court?
Well, I think my feeling after being someone who experienced an ACL tear when I was playing pro, they say it takes a year, but it really takes 2 years to get back to where you're 100% mentally and physically. I think she physically is back. She's strong. She has nothing limiting her at all. But I think it just takes time. And, Lauren's playing more basketball now than she probably has ever her whole life. She's always kind of been half and half. So she's never had an off season playing basketball. So this is her first short, condensed preseason with basketball. And hopefully she continues to learn and grow, but she's awesome. She's great in every way. She's tremendous for this program. She is one of the few freshmen I've ever met that talks the way she does. So on defense, she is like the talker, the communicator, which I love, and you can't teach that. She has that. And I think that's from volleyball because they just cheer after everything and they talk all the time. So it helps for basketball. But she's got really good hands. She's a three-point shooter. She finishes around the rim. We'll work with her more on finishing with her left and just shooting on balance a little bit more. But she's getting better. And I've seen her improve since she's been here in the last month. So she's going to be a very special player. And if she sticks to basketball, I think she can be a star.
David Bryant, you're next.
Hey, Coach, slightly off topic, but you're one of the few teams that I've seen this weekend that some of the players tried to wear masks while playing and everything, and some of them took them on and off and everything. And just wondering if that's something you encouraged or how you players went about doing that, just your thoughts on the whole process.
Well, so after being out 266 days from basketball, I think we want to do whatever it takes. So we are one of the few teams in the country that still practices with masks. And I think if we give ourselves the best chance to play and to be a little bit more safe or provide an extra layer of safety, I think it's good. And it doesn't wearing the gaiters doesn't bother our players. So I think it's been great for us. In a couple situations in the past 2 months, it's saved us from quarantining probably 3 or 4 times. Because by wearing the mask and having that extra layer and being distanced, we don't one person doesn't shut down the whole team. If we wouldn't have worn the mask a few times, our team would have been shut down a few times. And we still have had some situations where we did shut half the team down. But, I gave our players the option. On the bench, it's not an option. We have to put on our mask. But and I distanced the chairs a little bit further. But then on the court, I gave them the choice. So if they wanted to, I told them they could try the gaiter, they can try the surgical mask, whatever they want, whatever they feel comfortable doing. And so I think that's why you saw some people playing with it. So I'm good for either or, but I want them to do whatever it takes to be safe. And I think our players want to play. They're hungry this year. Excuse me. And they want to do whatever it takes to give themselves the best chance to play. And I'm really proud of our team. If you watch our practice, we're not only putting our mask when the boss is around or something, we are consistently doing a really good job. And I don't have to tell our players, pull your mask up. We're doing a really good job. So I'm proud of our team.
And last one, PJ Brown.
So what did your game day prep look like now? What was similar and what was different from in the past without COVID?
Let me tell you guys, it's all different. So it started yesterday. As a coach, and I don't know if other coaches, I'm going to be very transparent here. I don't know if other coaches are dealing with the same thing, but there is so many other decisions, and there's so many other layers to everything. So for instance, yesterday, I'm sitting and figuring out how I want the bench, who I want where, assigning the bench. And then I'm in the locker room assigning pods and players, putting up, our director of operations, Jessica's putting up pictures on where people need to sleep with distance. So we had everything spread out, and that's stuff we never had to think about before. And then we go to our shoot around. We have our mask on and shoot around. And then we go to our pregame meal. It's completely different. We've cut our party down by 15 people, and we're on the concourse, spread out, 2 people at the very end of the tables, 8 feet apart. It's just, everything feels very different. It feels less together because it's just the situation. But we were fine. I mean, we rolled with it and did it, but it's very, very different. And as a coach, it's very hard to communicate. So it's not loud in the arena, but I think as players, when you see someone's expression, or if you don't really hear them, you can kind of figure out what they're saying by like you read their lips or something. And like now it's very hard for me to yell to Aari. So you kind of have to pull your mask down to yell, or else they can't hear you. So it's just challenging. And I talked to some of the coaches. I'm like, are you guys feeling this way? I was texting before I came in here. They were like, yes. Because I thought it was like me. It feels like, it doesn't feel like a game. And it doesn't feel like you can provide as much energy, because usually your bench is together. They're feeding off each other. Those were just challenging. And I think that's just the obstacles of the first game. But like I said, I'm just blessed and thankful that we're
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.